is just fantastic. Captain's log, subdates 21219.4. As we enter the 19th day of Moistmas, I've been informed by Subfleet my crew are on their way here. Would now be a good time to tell them that Bork's Quarters has developed into a whole new civilization of living sentient rhubarbs. There once was a channel called Bolty, whose content was ever so slightly faulty. I feel like I'm jumping ahead of myself here, so I'm going to save the rest of that for you. By all means, finish my little poem. So on YouTube there are a plethora of differing commentary-style communities. One of the commentary communities I wanted to address was, oddly enough, those that hunt those with a taste for younger blood. The real ones. The ones that actually go out there and use UK legal law to apprehend a perp. I'll get to that next year, as some of them are quite interesting. Sadly, many of those channels don't exist anymore, because the nature of what they have released to YouTube is a bit wrong. I personally find the videos where they catch the NONCE to be highly entertaining, but there is another aspect, and they are the ones that make video forms that don't include real-time video. They include discussion, and they can come across as informative, gripping, entertaining, harrowing, and so on. But this is now where we have to insert Bolty. Bolty is a channel that has grown quite well, made fair few videos covering Discord predators. And so I absorbed most of the content I was able to absorb, and there were a few things I noticed quite early on. The first is, this seemed incredibly well produced. Almost akin to a Netflix TV series. It had the right moments to insert the right level of, let's say, energy, which seemed a tad strange, because if it was genuine, it would be truly unpredictable. The following two words did cross my mind: staged and scripted. So I'm not going to lie, I was a little sus at what I was observing, because it was presenting itself as if real, but I felt very much unconvinced. So with that particular perception in mind, we then have to draw our attention to the thumbnail. Thumbnails are what draw people to your video. They have to pop. They have to bang. For me, it's a very simple premise. I have a thumbnail template depending on the series, and I get the best images related to the video. Usually individuals and be the actual person, because those people are what will draw people to that video. I own the right to the thumbnail template and to my avatar, as I paid artists to draw them. I do not, for the most part, own the rights to the images I use in my thumbnails, but I do make sure, for the sake of honesty, they are people that feature in my videos. And it is with that in mind, we have to point out something Bolty did, that Bolty got wrong, that led to many then asking a number of questions. For a video that Bolty put out, an image was taken from Google. The image in question was later confirmed by Bolty himself to have come from a GoFundMe after doing a quick Google search, and the GoFundMe in question was to help with his diminishing eyesight. The problem is, because you only partially blurred the person on the thumbnail, people thought that that person was in fact the perp. Because, and an additional to this, there is no disclaimer in your videos saying that this is fake. This kind of intellectual dishonesty reminds me of the prank channels that think they're doing pranks when everything is staged. The only key difference here is, while morons will copy what they've done, in this case, people go hunting. They go hunting for the person on the thumbnail because they believe it to be true. Now granted, upon watching the content, I found it hard to believe that any of it was real. However, some will not see it so clearly, and because of that, they're gonna go a little knucking futs. So how do we know all of this? How did this come out? A channel called Keedboy, who does a lot of voice acting work for other channels as well, made a video talking about his voice acting experience for Bolty, It is a 3-minute long video, and I'm going to link that video and Keedboy's channel down below. Subscribe to them. They deserve your subscription, quite frankly, where they explain the working process for Bolty, the actors, the script writers, the entire process of how they produce a video, which therefore lent credence to the belief that I had that this was entirely faked. As someone that has a video series on his channel that goes against criminals, actual criminals, I find this kind of content to be incredibly insulting. If it's entertainment purposes and the video's reference as such that it is entirely fake, done solely to entertain, then sure, there's nothing really wrong with it. But I don't recall seeing a disclaimer. So on the 30th of November, Keedboy puts out a video going into detail over 3 minutes and does surprisingly well, explaining just how much of a fake the channel Bolty is. On December 15th, Bolty responds, the person that actually runs the channel, responds to the accusations made by Keedboy, and basically admits that everything is fake, explaining some of the major errors Bolty made when it came to the thumbnail, which is what Keedboy took major issue with, along with the fact that these were staged, and what he's going to do to rectify this for future videos. The big issue really is that the channel Bolty has these masses of views from a very growing and popular genre, exposing predators. It is incredibly popular. There is no denying that. And yes, many do believe this content to be staged, but you never said it was. So many others believed it. I've said this point 2 to 3 times already, but it's the big point. What you're going to do now to rectify is one thing, but you sent people to someone to hassle them, because at no point did you say it was fake, and at no point did you say, by the way, don't go harass people. You, the founder and creator, owner of Bolty, should be ashamed of yourself. You generate masses of views from very well-produced content, and it's well-produced for a good reason. Going forward, I'm sure you'll do fantastically well. But this will be a forever stain on your legacy because of all the hassle you caused one person, because apparently your moral compass wouldn't allow for you to do the right thing from the offset, and use images that weren't of actual people who were innocent.